Nathaniel Rothschild appears to be very angry over a failed, unusual investment. Rothschild recently tried to purchase ownership of an airport in the least visited country in Europe, Moldova. It looks like one of the people that profited from the sale to Rothschild was a convicted Israeli-born fraudster, Ilan Shor. Another very strange thing that happened the same week that it was announced that the Rothschilds were taking over this airport, another Rothschild happened to be at former President Bill Clinton's birthday party. Also attending was Anthony Scaramucci, who people probably have seen on the news doing all of these anti-Trump hit pieces over the past few weeks. Interesting that he happened to be with Bill and Hillary Clinton very late last month. Also attending was John Kerry and other so-called A-listers from the Democrat Party. Just a couple of weeks ago, within days of the Rothschilds talking about buying this airport, this party takes place. Rothschild is there. Sir Evelyn de Rothschild and his wife, Lynn Forrester de Rothschild, both at this party. Also, billionaire Carlos Slim. They're saying that notably Barack Obama and Michelle Obama were not present. But John Kerry was there, Scaramucci, and other big names from the Democrat Party with two Rothschilds, Evelyn de Rothschild and Lynn Forrester de Rothschild. People likely remember Linda Rothschild throwing a tantrum on Twitter last year, threatening to quit the internet. And it's interesting that we're seeing all this censorship taking place online, really ramping up over the past 2 years, becoming increasingly difficult to criticize people like Linda Rothschild. And I'm sure she's very happy with that, as when she was still on Twitter, basically all the comments were critical, to the point where she said that she was quitting Twitter. Last year, Linda Rothschild posted, quote, "Not that it matters to anyone but me, but I am deleting my Twitter app after this last tweet. To think that Russians have been using all of us to sow discord and destroy America is repulsive to me, and I refuse to take part. The hate and anger on Twitter is out of control. Goodbye, Twitter." Rothschild using the exact same excuses here that Democrats and the mainstream media have to increasingly censor people online, saying that they have to because of Russia and so-called hate. And I guess once everybody is censored to the point that nobody can criticize Lynn de Rothschild anymore, then she can finally return to Twitter. More from this newest update from today on how the Rothschild airport deal is falling apart. Moldova's president is saying that it was a criminal decision to give this airport to Rothschild. Meanwhile, Rothschild is adamant that its newly established agreement to manage the airport cannot be overturned despite political moves towards such an end. President has requested the Economics and Infrastructure Ministry to gather information on the transaction to hand the airport over to Rothschild, under which management firm Avia Invest sold a 95% shareholding to NR Investments. This is the company owned by Nathaniel Rothschild, as well as a status of investments planned for the airport. This action by Rothschild to purchase this airport had been discussed at a Security Council. There were concerns about Rothschild buying the airport at the Security Council meeting that took place earlier this month, at which the privatization was discussed, with the president's office insisting that Avia Invest's contractual rights should be terminated and the airport restored to state ownership. NR Investments' Nathaniel Rothschild responding critically, saying that the company and other financial firms need to have confidence before undertaking any investment that the airport will not be arbitrarily renationalized. He said, quote, "We observe with serious concern mounting political events surrounding our involvement, which are being expressed by government officials. We stand firm. There is no legal basis whatsoever to challenge our contract under Moldovan law," argued Rothschild. Rothschild was intending to channel a significant percentage of pledged funding this year to runway modernization and enhancement of Chisinau's terminal building. He said, quote, "Our focus since the outset has been to meet all the agreed upon contract terms with the state of Moldova as we improve the management and day-to-day operation of this expanding airport and promote continued growth in passenger numbers," Rothschild added. But he stressed that Avia Invest must have certainty that its legitimate property rights under the concession contract are respected. This looks like bad news for Rothschild. Rothschild seemed to be very excited about this whole deal. Chisinau's operator states that the rapid pace of modernization of the airport and quality of management had greatly impressed Rothschild. They note that 16 carriers operate at the airport and serve 38 destinations, including London, Paris, and Moscow. The airport handled 2.8 million passengers last year and is forecast to exceed 3 million this year. Recently, I'd looked at some reports about the Rothschilds turning on each other, and Nathaniel's failed investments were a huge part, especially in the growing rift between Jacob Rothschild, Nathaniel's father, and Nathaniel. This article is saying what seemed to cause them the most concern was their son's perceived lack of care over investments. In short, this family schism was all down to money. Also, a number of previous scandals that Nathaniel failed to cover up, including millions of dollars missing during an entanglement in Indonesia, other mismanagement issues. Family source said, quote, "Jacob was very concerned with Nathaniel's handling of investments. He felt his behavior was risking the family name, and the two fell out. No one should underestimate the degree of protection exercised by senior family members to protect the Rothschild reputation." Now, this looks like it will be the latest failed investment by Nathaniel Rothschild, as the government is trying to stop him from taking over this airport. They had a few other things that Avia Invest was trying to do with the airport, talking about work that was carried out by Avia Invest to popularize the airport in the international market due to its location near the Asian-European border. Located just 13 kilometers from the capital, the airport is the main gateway for flights to the Republic of Moldova. It's another headline from a few days ago hinting that there might have been a response coming from the government of Moldova. We saw it finally happen today. A couple of weeks ago, though, they were talking about how this transfer of the Chisinau airport to Rothschild was an unpleasant surprise for Moldovan authorities. A full government investigation could lead to a lot more, especially given all of these suspicious connections to the airport deal. This article from a few months ago talking about the election results where Israeli-born Moldovan businessman Ilan Shor, convicted in 2017 for money laundering, fraud, and abuse of confidence, had been elected to Moldova's parliament. Ilan was the beneficiary in the original deal to privatize the airport back in 2013. Ilan then profited from the sale of this airport to Rothschild. So very interesting news, getting virtually no coverage in the mainstream media. But let me know what you think. I will continue to follow this, and any other related details I will follow up here. Thanks for watching. If you could leave a like on the video, it's greatly appreciated, and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Thanks so much for sharing the information. I do have links in the video description to my Patreon and PayPal accounts where you can support the channel directly. I'll follow up soon. Thanks, everyone.